Okay, welcome everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started here. I'm Jeremy Simon with Off Square Music. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. As usual, we've got a terrific lineup, and I mentioned this last time, but these really have been growing, and we have been getting a lot of sign-ups. So we're actually filling up nowadays, and we've had to start sort of turning people away, which we hate to do, but we used to be doing 15-minute sets because we could fit that in. Now we went down to 10-minute sets so we could fit more people. We can't really go shorter than that. So our recommendation is that you sign up early. Just go to our website, offsquaremusic.org, and click on sign up to perform, and do sign up well ahead of time, because when it gets down to the last few days, there's a good chance that the list will be filled, because we can only go so late. So we do recommend that you sign up early. The other thing we could really use your help with is, we're getting lots of performer signups, but it would be nice to have a few more people joining us just to listen and enjoy what you guys are sharing. So tell your friends and family, invite people to come and enjoy the show. It would be nice to fill in the room a little bit more, so we could use your help with that as well. And of course, we appreciate your donations. If you didn't get it on the way in, there's a red donation box over there by Keith. And that just helps us to cover the rent for these evenings. Off Square Music is a nonprofit, so we really do need your help with that. There's a $5 suggested donation for these evenings, which I'm sure you'll agree is a steal, because you're going to get some wonderful entertainment this evening. Music, poetry, storytelling. You're going to love it. So, like I said, there's a great lineup, and so I don't want to take too much time. I will ask you guys to silence your cell phones if you don't mind. You'd be surprised how much that sound carries up here, and it can be a big distraction, really, especially in the middle of a poem or something like that. So please do silence your cell phones. You do have the option of setting them to do not disturb until I leave this location, and then when you walk out of here, they'll turn back on, so you don't have to remember. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. We are live streaming this open mic, so you can enjoy some of the performances later again, or share them with friends or family that maybe couldn't be here in person. Just go to YouTube, search for Off Square Music. You will find our channel, and right at the top of our channel, you'll see all of our recent live streams, including this one. Let's see, I think that's about everything. I'll come back later with some announcements about upcoming events, because we do have some important ones to tell you about, but for now we'll go ahead and get started. And so I want to introduce your MC for this evening, Terry Loncaric. She'll introduce the first performer.
Thank you, and welcome back to all the Rockford poets. That you guys are great. Got a great camaraderie, your group. Okay, we're going to start out with one of our regulars, our wondrous poet, Sue Rekenthaler.
Of course.
Yes.
Whoops.
I had to check my arms to see which was the right side. Oh. This I think is the first time I've been the startup person. So either I'll set the bar really low for the rest of you. The first piece I want to share, I was going through some old poems. This is sort of a prose poem that I wrote in 1974. I have always had a fascination with circuses and circus people, and particularly the elephants. And any chance I get where I can ride an elephant. I've had people watch me, usually when I'm at places like that. Somebody is the designated watch Sue, because she's going to run off with the circus. So I wrote this in a writing class I took at St. Cloud State University in 1971. Calliope sounds and pungent animal odors, the heat and closeness of the day awoke a longing within me and compelled me to him. His soft, damp snout nuzzled my arm. His gentle eyes told me he understood. Yes, he knew. We had met before in another life. Though it was long ago, we too remembered. The attendant helped me up upon the elephant's broad and bristled back. As we rode around the sawdust path, we both were spun back through the stars and sun to our time and our place. My silken robe rustled gently as he swayed. My silver bracelets played tunes to his plodding steps. The mark of my caste shone like a ruby in the morning sun. The elephant was in the regal trappings of the Raja, with silver and emeralds decorating his massive head. All beauty and power, we rode through the villages. I sang as we traveled. He trumpeted gently in response. The words drifted slowly through the many doors of my former lives and were suddenly reborn by memory when the man said, "Ride's over." As the attendant helped me dismount, the elephant nuzzled my arm again with his snout. We were still one. Ophelia by John Everett Millay is etched in my heart. Her father had been murdered. Scorned by her lover Hamlet, she went to the river. Sweet Ophelia, gathering flowers, singing to block the agony in her heart. She reached too far, and the river claimed her for his own. On dark days, when hope seems to be lost, I remember that painting. Auburn hair floating around her head like a sunlit halo. Small hands clutching the gathered wildflowers. Tranquility graces her face. When death comes for me, may he walk me along a riverbank. Let him softly ease me into the water, cradling me in his bony arms. Let the current rock us. I want that calm. I want those flowers. I want to surrender to the flowing water. I want tranquility to wash over me as death gives me to the river. Thank you.
Our next performer is Catherine Strauss, but I'm not sure if she's here. Is Catherine Strauss here? Come on, are you going to do... Oh, she's doing stand-up comedy. Okay.
Do you prefer to hold the mic or leave it on the stand?
I'm actually going to hold it. I'm going to put this there because I don't want to get lipstick all over it. That's okay. Whoa.
Safety first. Well, hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? I'm going to move it. All right. All right. So I'm going to get romantic with you guys right off the bat. I just had a colonoscopy. Sexy, right? Do I look thoroughly violated? Thank you. No, I'm not going to dwell on that, but I was telling a friend of mine, I said, yeah, I got to go get a colonoscopy. And she's like, oh my God, I love colonoscopies. Best sleep ever. Best sleep ever? Girl, 2 shots of whiskey do it for me, and no one has to go up my ass unless they're invited. Best sleep ever. So my husband and I go, and they stick us in like this curtain stall, the kind, you can hear everybody on either side. And I kid you not, the first thing we hear is the lady next to us. They're like, so Shirley, how'd you sleep? She goes, oh my God, I slept so well. I do every time I come here. I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, how often you coming here, Cheryl? And then they come into me, and they're like, so Catherine, are you ready for a good nap? I go, okay, I'm going to stop you right there. This is not the selling point you think it is. I just didn't violently crap myself for 30 hours to come here for a nap. When I'm taking a nap, it's on a beach in a lawn chair, with a margarita in my hand, not a guy GoProing it up my intestine. But the lovely things we need to do after 50, and you should do this one, you should. But I have friends who are divorced and dating again. It sounds horrible. Because I was single a long time before I was married. I didn't mind being single. You know when we don't like it, right? Holidays, birthdays, Valentine's Day, right? You're at work standing next to the person that gets the huge bouquet of roses. All I could ever think was, gosh, I guess the hand job wasn't enough. Better luck next year, huh? But then you get married, and guess what, folks? Still buying my own flowers and holding my own hand, No, my guy is great, he is. I do buy my own flowers, but that's because I'm a control freak. And he knows I like to get exactly what I want. So like the other day, I came out of the room, and he's like, are those new shoes? I go, yeah, you got these from me for my birthday. He goes, oh, yeah, okay. They look a little expensive. I'm like, I know, right? Oh, my God, you were so generous. Prince among men. You should see what you got me for Christmas on the driveway. And you're not going to believe where we're going for Groundhog Day. Pack your bags, baby. Don't forget your passport. Oh, my gosh. And now we're empty nesters. Where are my empty nesters? Anybody? Isn't it great? Isn't it great? Oh, my God, it's so great. It's wonderful. But we're not a sports family. I miss my girls. We're not a sports family. We were never a sports family. I was standing there, and I took my phone out, and this guy goes, checking the score. I'm like, no, what about me screams sports? Like, I don't have a jersey, maybe sumo wrestling, but, then I think, well, I'm probably insulting sumo wrestlers. Those guys work really hard. I just got this from, sitting on the couch eating chips and streaming White Lotus. But, that was hard, though. That's an intense show. I worked really hard to get through those 3 seasons. No, but we let our daughters try sports. So when our oldest was in 1st grade, she tried basketball. And we knew that wasn't going to be her thing as she lightly flitted down the court, twirling her hair and looking at the ceiling. And then at the end, all the kids get a trophy, because adults are stupid. And she comes up to us and she goes, what the hell is this for? I sucked. And very self-aware 7-year-old. I go, just throw it out. It'll matter. No, but it's not the kids, right? It's the parents. The parents are horrible. There was this man always in front of me screaming about his son. He was always like, Jeffrey, go, Jeffrey! And I'm like, dude, calm down. Jeffrey's in the corner twirling in a circle. I don't think the Bulls are drafting him today. You are safe from that phone call, and he's 7. All right? And then the mom of the only other girl on the team comes up, and she was kind of your typical sports mom. She's like a little brawny, and she goes, you know what you got to do? You got to get your girls into soccer. And I'm like, oh, no can do. I'm no soccer mom. I'm not going to freeze and fry my ass off while some novice coach herds cats for 9 hours. I'm not doing that. So my daughter chose horseback riding. Any horseback riders? Anybody? Yeah. Yeah, so I was an equestrian mother. Doesn't that sound nice? Equestrian mother? Do you know what that means? That I got to freeze and fry my ass off in a barn while smelling horse shit. Yeah. Soccer mom's not looking so bad right now, is it? I don't like horses. I hate admitting this because I'm afraid. It's not in my wheelhouse. But, I had to pretend for my daughter's sake. So there I am standing in the barn going, oh, my God, they're such beautiful animals. They're so amazing. And the girl that works in the barn is like, well, then would you like to feed Sugar Plum a carrot? Like, of course I would. Sugar Plum almost took my fingers off. Yes, she did. And the girl's like, well, did you flatten your hand enough when you fed Sugar Plum? Maybe that's it? I'm like, no, that's not it. Could it be because Sugar Plum's 47 years old and blind? You think that could be it? And she can't tell the difference between my hand and a carrot? That could be it. So, anyway, but then my other daughter did swim team. Everyone's like, you should get them in swim team. They learn to be better swimmers, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I messed up one thing. So hang on a second. No, then I'm sorry, scrap the swim team. I got to get this right. No, and every time I walked past the barn where the stalls with the male horses, they would take one look at me and get an instant erection. What is it about this face that inspires a hard-on? Anyone, guys? Or any of you sitting there rock hard looking at this? Anyone? Of course not. Well, maybe you. And definitely you. Call me. No. No, it's confusing. I'm flattered, but it was confusing. So now I can talk about my other daughter did swim team. But she sinks as she swims. So there she is pulling for her 8-year-old little life, practically walking the bottom of the pool. She gets out, she runs to me real excited, and she's like, Mom, did I win? I'm like, no, honey, no. I said, no, but that's okay because win or lose, you'll still get a trophy. And that's my time. I'm off to feed Sugar Plum and inspire some erections. You've been really great. Thank you very much. Catherine Strauss in the house. And can I, whoops.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And shifting gears back to poetry now, get to hear from our MC of the evening. Please enjoy Terry Loncaric.
Thank you. I don't know about anybody in this audience, but I was really sad when I heard the Pope died. I mean, we know it was inevitable, and I'm not a fan of organized religion, but this Pope to me was a spiritual leader, very inspiring. I mean, he didn't take a salary. He rode the bus to work. He was very humble, and to me, that's a trait of truly holy people. So I wrote this a long time ago, but I kind of changed it to past tense to fit the situation. This beacon of hope. In his gentle manner, Francis, the Argentinian Pope, plants a kiss of hope on the hearts of the world, chants understanding in times of chaos and unrest, embraces the fragile, the forgotten, sees hope in the vulnerability of human struggle, envisions kindness beyond religious dogma, grasps the love that exists so near the destruction. I'm actually going to set my alarm tonight, and I'm going to watch his funeral. I've been writing a lot of poems about surviving a heart attack. I'm actually going to put together a book on it. So it's a very life-changing experience. Determined. Some people say I am brave. Not really. I survived. Like my astrological sign, the goat, I am too stubborn to do anything else. I have become an active agent of my own health. The will to live is wicked strong. Nothing is quite as motivating as the possibility of death. Too many poems, too many nature walks, too many life experiences still left in my ever-changing bag of tricks. I am anchored in the belief the will to survive will always defeat the desire to slide into lazy choices. Failure is not an option. You could say a heart attack saved my life. Brave? Not so much. Determined to stay alive. Glad to be here. Eager to free fall into the next adventure without fear or trepidation. Intensely grateful. And I always think a little black humor helps in near-death experiences. And this one I actually wrote today. It was while I was driving in the car. I rushed home and wrote it down. It was like a 2-minute inspiration. Little comfort. I hate when people say the heart attack was a wake-up call. That's like saying an earthquake, a nuclear blast, or a cat making love under your bedroom window are great alarm clocks. Not. Second chances. I have always believed in the redemption of second chances, the opportunity to change, to forgive one's past flaws, a chance to free oneself from the burdensome steel boots of resistance, a moment to discover psychic energy and strength in my best choices. There is that moment you realize knowledge is power. It is possible to align health and spirit, intellect and energy. I accept the brutal truth. My parts will eventually wear out, but I must respect my body's strength to restore itself and not allow any of my parts to rust before their time. And that came from my mother, who always said, we're just like cars, our parts eventually wear out. And I thought it was a cute saying. All right, on to our next person. And I think, is that Moxie Knox? Did I say your name right? From Rockford. She's a poet from Rockford. A prolific poet from Rockford.
I think I'm good. It should be good. I'll tee her up. Hear me? Okay. I'm going to start with a little announcement. I am hosting an open mic at Inkwell Bookstore in Rockton, Illinois on May 29th. And it's going to be at 6 p.m. But before that, James Hamilton over there is running a workshop at 4 o'clock, and that's going to be amazing. So it's my first gig. I know it's a little far, but I thought I have flyers and stuff if you're interested. But yeah. May 29th at 6 or at 4. And then I'm going to start with this piece I call Mr. Perfect. I crave the perfect poem. Sometimes I think it will visit me in my dreams, or it'll be written on the back of a bathroom stall door at the loudest bar in town. Sometimes I think if I just vomited onto a page and rearranged it enough, it'd appear there, but that's disgusting. It could be written on the back of a photo, framed, out of reach, laughing at me, or in plain sight, and I'm just too distracted to see. I crave the perfect poem. I'll forge the sea for it, rent a submarine, ask the fish what they have seen. Do you have a prompt? Do you have anything? A message in a bottle, maybe? I crave the perfect poem, without even knowing its origin. It could be completely foreign. Will someone translate it to me? Break it down, make it make sense, just free me? Because I crave the perfect poem, so much so I'm running on fumes. The search is endless, so hopefully I'll find the preface in you. I'm just going to do this one because I love it. It's called Crossing Guard. Do I cross your mind when you drive home late with no music? The street lights make you squint as you roll into town. Does the wind whisper my name when you watch leaves tornado through the gusts? Do I cross your mind when you see a smile with smiling eyes combined? I remember you said you liked my excitement. What about my derailment? Sorrow-eyed times. Would it cross your mind to hide? Cower, resent me? Would you treat me like a stranger even if you knew the smell of my hair? Would you dare to look at me, let alone let it cross your mind that I was there? All right. This one, I call it the harping harp. That harping harp was sold to the older man down the road ages ago. He doesn't even know how to play music, just needed another clothes rack for his paranoid wife, whose youth was stolen from her. She has more clothes than worries now. She refuses to decorate for Christmas. It reminds her of her drunken father that never gifted her anything other than disappointment. She has more clothes than worries now. That older man is the ease to her pain. He gifts her silence, sobriety, and domain. That's all she needs. A harp from the heart, an unplayable mystery that encapsulates hope for her youth. The child in her is hugged with each new article of clothing she dreamed was gifted to her. On Sunday evenings, the older man clears out the hallway in an attempt to make a fashion runway. She struts back and forth 30 times before she breaks down and cries. Tears of relief. She has more clothes than worries now. The older man sees her inside and out, chips away the sorrow embedded in her tiny blue veins, allows the child in her to breathe and be free in this beautiful, sober domain. It's their stage, and she is always the star of the show. She twirls and twirls. He'll always ask for an encore because she has more clothes than worries now. She hardly frowns besides when the mailman gets too close to the front door, timid to the outside world. The older man swore up and down to keep her safe and sound. So he covers the blinds, barricades the back and front doors, keeps buying her more and more clothes so she doesn't implode again. Every night she dresses up for dinner at home. He oozes over her, adores her evermore, till the light flickers, causing another uproar. She has more clothes than worries now, but he can't seem to settle her down. So he unscrews all the light bulbs and has his mail sent to another house, as paranoia foams from her mouth day in and day out. At least her shoes will always match her blouse. But she has more clothes, but he has all of the worries now. Yearning and desperately bound, this week when Sunday evening rolls around, he doesn't clear out the hallway for her weekly fashion runway. Instead, he sits her down, kisses her on the forehead, and prepares himself for what he's about to spew out. He hasn't been going to work. He's replaced it with music lessons to play that harp. Before she can even get a thought formed, he falls to his knees on the floor beside her, begging for forgiveness. She doesn't even understand what for. He feels as though he has failed her, and this is his last-ditch effort to be her savior. She scoops him up and removes her clothes hung from the harp's neck. He hobbles over as if he has just had a heart attack, and plays like his marriage depends upon it, plays directly from the love chamber in his heart that has her name branded on it. Sorrow, paranoia, and grief seep from her dark-circled eyes as the final act of release. The frantic child in her is finally freed. Thank you.
Carol Obertubbesing, one of our cherished regulars. Any poems of social justice tonight? No. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. You told me you're not going to do that. Okay.
Thanks, Jeremy. Well, thank you, Jeremy and Keith, Andy, everyone at Off Square Music, and thank you to everyone who's performing or just listening tonight. Before I read two poems, I have two quick announcements. The first one is that tomorrow is the 26th Chicago Poetry Festival, and it's going to be at the Harold Washington Library downtown from 10 to 4. So there was no pre-sign-up that I saw on the website, so just go down if you're interested. And second, come back here on Sunday afternoon. The Woodstock Folk Festival will be presenting its spring benefit concert, And our theme is Becoming the United States of America, Songs of Liberty, Justice, and Unity. And we've got some wonderful performers for that, one of whom is here tonight. Tricia is here tonight, and you'll be hearing from her. And Jeremy will be accompanying her, too, so another person. So please come out Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. in this space. So this week is the coincidence of both Earth Day and Arbor Day. Today is Arbor Day. Earth Day was Tuesday. And I read my Arbor Day poem last year here. So this year I'm going to read Animal Wisdom for Earth Day. Little hummingbird, how do you travel so far? The lightness of your being must be matched by an inner strength. Teach us to fly far, but remember our way home. Bright lanternfish, how do you shine in the deep sea? You are often prey for your fellow ocean-goers, yet your bioluminescence delights our eyes. Teach us to shine even in our darkest hours. Agile rabbit, how do you hop so fast? Your affectionate furriness is matched by your intelligence. Teach us when to burrow and when to run. Red fox, how did you become so clever? You travel through the country vineyards and through the urban gardens. Teach us to adapt and keep moving forward. Patient turtle, how do you live so long? You hold your breath underwater. You are calm and comfortable in your shell. Teach us to appreciate the destination and the journey. Mighty elephant, how do you remember your own? You travel over time and space. You keep your herd safe and remember your dead. Teach us how to move forward and to remember. Majestic lion, why are you the king of beasts? Unlike other cats, you live in groups. You show strength and protect your pride. Teach us how to bond without fear. Powerful tiger, how have you survived? Your beautiful stripes make you a prize. Your roar can be heard far and wide. Teach us your courage. Bald eagle, how did you become so resilient? You mate for life. You never give up. Teach us to soar and to be strong and free. Thank you. And this week is National Dance Week, and this is National Poetry Month. So this is a poem honoring both dance and poetry. Dancing through the fields. The sun slowly rises off the cliffed coast of England. Shades open, and flight attendants serve breakfast. Below, land gradually comes into sight. Then, we see the vast sunshine yellow rapeseed fields. On this spring morn, we yearn to dance through these fairyland fields in a sacred rite. We ride on horseback through the rugged hills of Texas, thankful to Lady Bird for wildflower preservation and proliferation. We think of barbecue, cowboys, and country music. Then we see the trail of bee-laden bluebonnets. Now, families play and dance in the blue fields as they reunite. We bike through the flat green lands of Holland. The windmills gently turn beside the sleepy canals. We think of Rembrandt, Van Urstel, and Gouda. Then we see the tulips in red, purple, orange, pink, and yellow. On this spring day, we dance through these rainbow fields with utter delight. The train travels through the cross-filled fields of Flanders. a place where flowers grew in trenches and in no man's land. We think of John McCrae, a Monet painting, and a lark singing. Then we learn the showy red poppy fields have dwindled. Today, we honor those who dreamt of dancing with sweethearts in the misty twilight. We drive through the historic villages of Provence. A heavenly, woodsy floral fragrance calms our soul. We think of Van Gogh, Ratatouille, and Rosé. Then we are mesmerized by the lavender fields stretching as far as we can see. On this summer day, we dream of a peaceful waltz on this purple carpet tonight. We walk through the undulating hills of Tuscany. Weather-beaten castles and villas dot the landscape. We think of Panzanella, Pappardelle, and Chianti. Then we see the happy sunflowers reaching for the sun. As the sun sets, come, dance through the warm fields on this starlit night. Thank you. And if you'd like more information about the concert on Sunday, there are flyers up there, and I also have some at my table. Thank you.
And now that's what I love about this group. We have such a diverse array of talent to go from beautiful words to beautiful songs. Mark Lyons, singer-songwriter.
Yeah. That's okay. I'll be back.
My musical partner, Gene's going to join me on my first song.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
We're doing it on two.
2. Okay.
Hold it. Getting any sound? Check test 1 2. Check test 1 2. How do you
Okay.
pay a sound man? Check check check. Fair warning, the jokes only get worse.
They do.
By the way, whoever thought of Arbor Day, I think it was a tremendous idea, and we should further branch out. I told you they only get worse.
I told him to not quit his day job.
I couldn't help it. They threw me out anyway. Touche. All right. Well, this first song is a song that I wrote when I was a sophomore in college. I wrote it for a friend of mine who was going through a rough time. So it goes like this. Start again. When it seems that the walls are closing in on you, and your mind is confused, and you don't know what to do. When the clouds on your horizon are as black as night, then just take my hand and hold on tight. Just hold on tight with your hand in mine. Together we can face any troubles we might find. Just lean on me and you'll soon be walking tall. And I'll be there to catch you if you stumble and fall. You can always depend on me to help you through your times of trial and tragedy. Just as long as this planet keeps spinning through the sky, I'll always be there by your side. Just hold on tight with your hand in mine. Together we can face any troubles we might find. Just lean on me and you'll soon be walking tall. And I'll be there to catch you if you stumble and fall. Just lean on me and you'll soon be walking tall. And I'll be there to catch you if you stumble and fall. Thank you. Thank you, Gene. Well, I was inspired to write this next song by a college roommate that I had. This guy had what I term a maximum strength Jewish mother. If you're familiar with the stereotype, just up it a couple of thousand, and it's the stuff of nightmares. This woman would call her darling boy, and if he wasn't in his room to take the call, she'd start calling all his friends to find out what happened to him. This I know because I got one of those calls after midnight. Now, normally, if you get a call after midnight, there better be a darn good reason for it. You know, somebody's sick, there's been an accident, there's a deep space meteor about to crash into Earth. But have you seen my son? Does not qualify. So as I said, I was inspired to write this. Years later, I ran into a friend of mine, and she said, "You'll never guess who I'm dating." Yep, it was him. And all I could think of was, "Oh, lady, you don't know what you're getting yourself into." And then a year after that, I saw her again. And I said, "So are you and Mitch still going out?" She said, "No, we broke up. He was seeing a psychiatrist and never told me." Now, why do you suppose he might be seeing a psychiatrist? It's a mystery to me. Anyhow. He's a man of decision, a man of iron-jawed will. He'll make a commitment and promise that he will fulfill. But be on your guard when he says that it's you he will please. 'Cause when mommy says no, he'll leave you to twist in the breeze. When mommy says no, her wishes he cannot deny. She tells him jump, and he only asks her how high. Those old apron strings are attached to him yet. He's nothing more than a marionette. There's no rhyme or reason, so you better accept it as so. Everything comes to a halt when mommy says no. You're his number one woman. Oh, he vows and he swears this is true. But all his entreaties are a big pile of horse number two. 'Cause it's mommy who's first, and you know that you never can win. He's close to mommy just like you are close to your skin. When mommy says no, her wishes he cannot deny. She tells him jump, and he only asks her, how high? Those old apron strings are attached to him yet. He's nothing more than a marionette. There's no rhyme or reason, so you'd better accept it as so. Everything comes to a halt when mommy says no. When mommy says no. And for all of you women out there who have ever in your life dated a mama's boy, I salute you.
It's always great to have a new performer, so please welcome Joey Tilton.
Well, hello everybody. My name's Joey, but my friends call me Creature because I have bad table manners. I'm just kidding. I don't have any friends. This song is one that I wrote after watching Law & Order a lot. I don't know if anybody's ever seen that show, but it's on TV. If you haven't, you should check it out. It's cool. But anyways, this one's called Human Remains. It would help if I turned my guitar up. I haven't done this for a while. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know if this thing works. Let's see. Is it coming through? All right, very good. All right, here we go. This one's called Human Remains. Human remains, all that remains of this human remains on the side of the road. Human remains, all that remains of this human remains on the side of the road. There was a guy, his name was Tan, fell in love with a lady named Jan. But Jan really didn't feel the same way about Tan, so he flung himself off a bridge. Oh yes, he did, and he became human remains. All that remains of this human remains on the side of the road. Human remains. All that remains of this human remains on the side of the road. She was Daddy's little girl. Fell into a party world. She met this slippery snake. His name was Snake. Snake gave her some stuff. She couldn't handle so much, and she became human remains. All that remains of this human remains on the side of the road. Human remains. All that remains of this human remains on the side of the road. Wait, but just wait. Granny worked at a crossing guard. It didn't pay a lot, but it wasn't that hard. She only did it to see her grandkids every day after school until a drunk fool disobeyed the traffic rules and she became human remains. All that remains of this human remains on the side of the road. Human remains. All that remains of this human remains on the side of the road. And that one's about Law and Order. Thank you. So this next one is a little more lighthearted. That one's kind of dark, and I was nervous about singing that in case anybody had experienced some sort of loss recently or that pinched a nerve. If I did, I'm sorry, but it's just a song. Next up is a little more lighthearted. I wrote this one back in 2003 in the back of a taxi cab, right before the taxi cab driver beat the shit out of me. And I still remembered it. I went home and I wrote it, and I pitched this one to Coca-Cola, and they didn't buy it. But they did change the name of Mr. Pibb to Pibb X, which is bullshit, I think. I think that's bullshit, okay? Because Mr. Pibb was one of my favorites, and when they changed it to Pibb X, I was like, no, not doing it. But this one's called Mr. Pibb. Just the other day, Mr. Pibb was a-sitting at home. He was feeling so sad, he was feeling so alone. Along came Dr. Pepper, just a-cruising right on by. Hurling them insults, poor Mr. Pibb broke down, he cried, oh no. Mr. Pibb, don't you do it, Mr. Pibb. Don't cry too goddamn late, Mr. Pibb, Mr. Pibb, will he cry that night now? Mr. Pibb, Mr. Pibb, don't try that eye now. Mr. Pibb, do you want to get the upper hand? Then you gonna have to formulate a master plan. It ain't gonna take guns or a knuckle filled with brass. You gonna have to use them brains to kick this Dr. Pepper's, oh yeah. Mr. Pibb, pay close attention to me, here's what you gotta do. Mr. Pibb, Mr. Pibb, well, he's going back to school now. Mr. Pibb, Mr. Pibb, well, he ain't no fool now. Mr. Pibb, well, he done cold rock shock them books. All the while, Dr. Pepper just kept sinking nasty hooks. Mr. Pibb stuck it out, he made the grade. Now Mr. Pibb is sitting chilling in the shade, oh yeah. Mr. Pibb is sitting chilling in the shade, that's alright. Mr. Pibb, Mr. Pibb is sitting in the shade, yeah. Mr. Pibb, Mr. Pibb, well, he ain't but on lemonade. Dr. Pepper, look out, Mr. Pibb got a PhD. He been studying molecular botany. It's a dang shame you two just could not be friends. Well, I mean, you're practically the same chemical blend, oh yeah. Mr. Pibb got a PhD, that's Dr. Pibb. Dr. Pibb, a PhD in molecular botany. Dr. Pibb, PhD in molecular botany. And Dr. Pepper, yo, just a chiropractor. Thanks, everybody. I'm Joey. My friends call me Astro because I'm far out. Just kidding. I don't have friends. Safe to unplug?
All right. Thank you, Joey. Can you hear me okay? You want to bring this up a little bit, Keith? All right, just a few announcements. We'll get right back to it. I know Carol already talked about this, but I want to go back to Sunday, the Woodstock Folk Festival Spring Benefit Concert. So I got a few more things to say about that. There are still tickets available, and this year in July will be the 40th annual Woodstock Folk Festival, and so this event on Sunday is the primary fundraiser for that. And so we really need the community to come out and support this, and it's going to be a wonderful show. You know, Carol puts a lot of thought and intention into the performers that she brings and the themes that are represented, and it's going to be just a wonderful afternoon, well worth the trip from Rockford, folks. So, yes, tickets are still available at woodstockfolkfestival.org, and we really hope to see everyone there. It's, as I said, a very important event, and it's bound to be a wonderful afternoon, and we are not going to be live streaming this one, so you got to be here to see it live. I hope to see you guys on Sunday for that 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. right here at Stage Left. Then our next ticketed event is going to be May 2nd. That's the first Friday in May. We're featuring the Stage Leftovers, a very popular local band, and those shows are always just a ton of fun. Usually have some dancing over in the aisles here, and just not only is it always fun, but this one in particular, because they're doing one of their, what do they call it, the folks, the ones we left behind, thank you. So featuring a lot of the music of the artists that we lost in 2024 and 25 as part of this concert they'll be doing. It is filling up fast. We do still have some tickets available, but I would not be surprised if it sells out, so get your tickets for that one if you haven't already. For that one, go to offsquaremusic.org, and you'll find the link for the tickets there. And that one, as I said, is on Friday, May 2nd at 7 p.m. right here at Stage Left. Once again, we will not be live streaming that event, so you got to be here live. They may choose to share a recording of one or two of their songs. That's up to them, but we will not be live streaming it. Then we have our open mics. So coming up in May, we always do 2 open mics. We have what we call our regular open mic, which is kind of an anything goes. It tends to be mostly music, but doesn't need to be. You know, poets and comedians and storytellers are welcome, but covers or whatever you want to share is fine. That's on the second Friday of each month, so that'll be May 9th, 7 p.m. And we'll be featuring Jim Bartholomew. So he'll do a half-hour set. Everyone else will be doing the usual 10-minute sets. So as I said earlier this evening, please do sign up for these open mics early by going to offsquaremusic.org and click on Sign Up to Perform. And then on the 4th Friday of each month, we do this one, which is the all-original open mic. And as you can see, it's always a really nice variety of music and poetry and comedy, and you'll have some storytelling later. And as always, just quite a treat. And as you can see this evening, pretty full lineup, especially nowadays. So definitely sign up early for these. We don't want to have to turn anyone away, but you know we can only go so late. So please do sign up early at offsquaremusic.org. We also do a virtual open mic every Saturday on Zoom. So this is a way that you can join in on the fun and entertainment from the comfort of your own home. Just visit our website, offsquaremusic.org. You'll see that you can sign up for our mailing list on the right-hand column, and there's a checkbox there for the every Saturday virtual open mic, and you'll get the details in your inbox. We usually have 7 or 8 performers each week doing 10-minute sets, and then Andy Andrick, who's back there somewhere, runs some music trivia for us at the end of the evening. Always a really good time. So do check it out if you haven't had a chance to. Like I said, every Saturday evening, starting at 7 p.m. with sound checks at 6:30. So that's what we have going on in the month to come. I want to thank our volunteers, Keith Johnson running audio for us, and Andy, as I mentioned before, he helps us with setup and tear down. Thanks to Terry for running the show for us, and I didn't see who we have back at the bar tonight, but is that Kip's? Thank you very much at the bar. Please stop by and get yourself a drink or snack and tip Kip's generously. I mentioned the donation box earlier, but please don't forget, we do ask for a $5 donation just to help us cover the rent for these evenings and to help us keep events like this going. So thank you very much for that. Oh, yeah, I thought I mentioned this before, but somebody asked about how to get to our live streams. So these are going on, it's on YouTube, and so since it's hard to give a URL by voice, I'll just say go to YouTube, search for Off Square Music, and we come right up. We're one of the top, a couple of listings there, and you'll recognize us by our logo. And just go to our channel, and you'll see one of the top playlists there is our recent live streams. And so this will be the first one in the list, being that it'll be the most recent, and you can also find our past live streams and other recordings there that you might enjoy. Well, yeah, they're right on the channel homepage, yeah. So you'll find all the live streams right there on our channel page. And then you can also subscribe to that. When you get to our channel, you can subscribe, and you'll get a notification by email as soon as we go live for one of these events. So you get a heads up when you're at home and you might want to check us out. Okay, I think that's all I've got for you. So let's see, I'll just save Terry a trip back up here by introducing our next performer, which is going to be a comedian again. So Samantha Chiappone.
Well, that was a lovely greeting. That is not how my kids greet me when I walk in a room. They usually hide or ignore me, so thank you for that. I do have 2 kids, and my daughter, she loves to look at herself in the mirror. My bathtub has this wide rim, and like the whole wall is mirror. So she'll just walk back and forth along the tub rim, just looking at herself and like doing these poses. Oops, sorry about that. And just kind of like a model. She acts like a model, She'll like go like this, and then she'll like twirl her head around like. I'm old, so that hurts my neck. And then she'll do like a shimmy, and then she like turns around and does this like twerking thing with her butt that I can't do because I'm old, but like she's really good at it. She's 4. Send help or wine, preferably before she's 13. But what she likes to look at herself most in are her swimsuits. And she doesn't care what's happening outside. Like, she wants to be in these swimsuits. Like, it could be snowing, swimsuit, 90 degrees, swimsuit, tornado, swimsuit. If you're not from around here, that was the same week. But you get it, right? Doesn't matter what's happening outside, this kid wants to be in one of her swimsuits. And I have had epic arguments with this tiny tyrant about when and where she is allowed to wear her swimsuits. She wants to wear them to bed at night, to the grocery store, to school, to church, out in the snow. You know where she doesn't want to wear her swimsuits? To the beach. Well, she's decided that that's time to wear her Elsa Halloween costume, because that makes sense. But you know what? After months of arguments and therapy, we have finally come to a compromise regarding the swimsuits, and it's this. She gets to wear her swimsuits whenever and wherever the hell she wants, and I keep my mouth shut. It's the only way we get any peace in my house. My house is a little different. You know how most homes, someone identifies as the boss, and it's usually dad, like, yeah, I'm the boss. And then mom standing behind him like, so it's mom, but we all pretend it's dad, right? Well, in my house, there really is only one boss, and there's no pretending, and it's my 4-year-old. She's the boss. She runs everything. She tells us what to do. There was one time we were sitting on the couch watching TV. She was sitting in my lap, and I was like, oh, honey, can you get up? I have to go to the bathroom. And she just looks at me with these black eyes and goes, no. And just goes back to watching Fancy Nancy, like I'm some chair she's sitting on. When she has to go to the bathroom, I have to go with her. She will not go to the bathroom unless I am in the bathroom with her. I have to pause my entire life, stop cooking dinner, stop doing the dishes, stop going to the bathroom myself so that she can go to the bathroom. And she would rather pee her pants in the doorway of the bathroom before she would go in the bathroom and go by herself. Like, that's how crazy it is. And bedtime, oh my God. Bedtime is so hard because when I say it's time for bedtime to my kids, she decides that it's actually time for 4 wardrobe changes, a tea party, and an entire full-length concert where she sings the entire soundtrack from Mamma Mia. every night. Here we go again. It's crazy. And I love my daughter. She's amazing. She's wonderful. She's so strong and beautiful. And someday I think she might be president or Darth Vader. Either way, I think y'all should prepare yourselves because she's going to grow up and run or rule something, probably in a swimsuit. And it's going to be terrifying. So prepare now. She's also very outspoken. And I made a huge mistake when she was a baby. I started calling her lady. And now coming from me, it was meant to be a term of endearment, like, hey, lady, what are you doing? Or get your shoes on, lady. Now, the problem is she talks now. And everything that comes out of her mouth is dripping with attitude. So we were at Walmart one time, and we were blocked in the aisle by carts and people. And she looks at the Walmart worker in front of us, and she goes, hey, lady, move. Okay, first of all, that was extremely rude. Second of all, that was not a lady. So we are no longer allowed in Walmart. You know how embarrassing it is to have to get kicked out of Walmart with a toddler in a bathing suit in the middle of winter? It's not fun. I can't say that with a straight face, you guys. You know everyone's allowed in Walmart, right? No one gets kicked out of Walmart. That's not a thing. Have you seen some of the people who shop there late at night? It's like this sad walk of shame where instead of coming from a night of partying, you're just grocery shopping. I once saw a woman. She had 2 different shoes on, SpongeBob pajama pants, a shirt that was inside out and backwards, and she had just the biggest bags under her eyes. I tried really hard not to stare, so shuffle down the aisle. And I realized I was in front of a mirror. It was me. I was the backwards inside out t-shirt lady. Raise your hand if you've ever left the house with 2 different shoes on. No. Oh, I was not expecting that. Sweet. I thought I was alone. Awesome. Yeah. I do have friends. I know you're shocked because of the stories I just shared, but I do. Granted, I did make them in elementary school, but they still talk to me, so it counts. We mostly keep in touch through our text chain because we live all over the place. And we use a lot of emojis, as most people do now. And it's always interesting to see which emojis people have in that first line when you pull up your emoji screen, especially those first 2. I feel those are the ones you use the most, and I feel like it says a lot about who you are as a person. Some people, it's like a kissy face and a heart. Other people, it's like an eggplant and a donut. I don't judge. My most used emojis are these. And I don't think there is a more accurate description of my life other than those 2 emojis. No words, just. And to illustrate this, I'm going to tell you about my most recent text chain with my friends. We hadn't talked to each other and probably in the same group in about a year. So it was a check-in text. How you doing? What's new? What's going on? And everyone had big news. You know, my one friend, she got a big promotion at work. Another friend is moving. Another friend is pregnant again. And then it was my turn to share. And this was my big news. You know that callus you get under your ring finger when you wear a ring for a long period of time? I got divorced 2.5 years ago, and mine's gone. That was my, thank you. That was my big news. High five. I did not get a high five from my friends. I got more like those kind of reactions, but it's fine. So I do what a lot of single people do, and I spend a lot of time convincing myself that I need more pets because humans are garbage. No offense. And I have a dog, but I always want another one for some reason because I need another thing. So I spend a lot of time on petfinder.com. And I love this website. It shows profiles for every dog available for adoption in your area. And there's such good information in them, you know, because they're trying to find good permanent homes for these dogs, which is wonderful. But as I'm looking at them, I can't help but wish that humans were this honest about themselves on their dating profiles. Like, it's super helpful to know that Skittles doesn't get along well with young children and can't be in a home with cats. You wouldn't find that out about a human until you're 6 months into the relationship, and all of a sudden, Chad doesn't like kids and is allergic to cats. Skittles' profile told me that he was found in a dumpster at the back of a restaurant. Sorry. Chad's sister told me that she found him in a dumpster at the back of a restaurant after a weekend bender. Someone needs to microchip his ass. Skittles' profile told me that he is house-trained and heartworm negative. Chad sleepwalks, peed in my dresser, and he gave my dog ringworm. He's also neutered, so. Anyway, I'm single again. And I'm trying to eat better so I can stay trim. The problem is that I hate exercising with a passion. So we have to get my exercises in by accident. So like on laundry day, up and down 30 steps multiple times a day, sometimes with heavy loads of laundry, so boom, there's my cardio. On grocery shopping day, I cannot leave my car unless I am carrying like all of the grocery bags at the same time, and I like waddle into the house like a sumo wrestler, and it takes me like 10 minutes, and it would have taken me much less time if I had made multiple trips, but grocery shopping day is my arms day, and multiple trips are for quitters. So, boom, arms day. And then every spring, I dedicate an entire month to my abs, where I just cough my way into a six-pack. I'll start with a cold and, ow, it hurts. And then I move into the flu and I really feel the burn. By the time RSV sets in, boom, six-pack. Because did you know that you use all 4 of your ab muscles when you cough? You do. I bet some of us are hoping we get the flu this year, preferably around swimsuit season. Yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll tell you when it's in my house again. You can come over. We'll just have a party. That'd be great. Could you imagine a cop breaking up a party like that? Yeah, we got a call about a raging party. No, sorry, officer. It's not a raging party. It's a contagion party. We're not handing out drugs, just germs. Trying to get fit for swimsuit season. I would not get arrested, but I'd probably end up in a psych ward somewhere. What are you gonna do? No, that's a joke. I do have a six-pack though. It's just covered up by layers of pizza and sadness. So. I'm going to stop there. I think that's enough.
And now, James Hamilton. He's an amazing poet. He's very avant-garde. You're going to enjoy him. Like our resident beat poet.
Today is 100 days. Donald J. Trump. 100 days. I've been watching you, taking notes, writing things down. My list is getting long. So I've been writing down these poems about what I see, witnessing, and then speaking my mind. My intuitions, my observations, juxtapositions of people, process, pandering dispositions, psychopathy, sociopathy, narcissistic, antisocial personality. Just chopping, chilling, whiplash, reprieve, willing, watching somebody else's leader talk. Loud about making our country great, quiet about needing therapy, felonies, and rape. Peroxide pronouns, bleach water policy, showdown, DEI, shut down diversity, throw down, and progress, inclusion reversed, and equity inverse. Damn, pride is proud, alive, the fuck of it all, we tried. Loud about citizen rights, quiet about same-sex marriage and transgender equality. Dysmorphic overlay, converse, moments, idols, icons, calibrated measurement, inches, feet, and miles, misery, milk, melody, frequency, monumental mercury, flashbang, history, book burning, 3,000 degree Kelvin, burdensome, redacted, inkblot smoke, capturing clouded credence, priceless commodities, goods for sale, forsaken sake, awaken everlasting, woke versus hate, ration, shake and bake on the table, waking up to on the tape. Loud about abusing foreign leaders, quiet about blackmail for mining rights. Amendment bending, sizzle, static, starch, oligarch, panic attack, diving deep, driving creep, coming up shallow, misogynist, superiority itch, South African, super rich bitch, lording sexist income disparity, unrich, unwell, no insurance, no health care, oh well, plenty of dope to sell. Loud about fentanyl, quiet about Schedule I legalization. I take 8 prescription medications every day. My doctor says I need them all to stay sane. Customers, not cures. Simple preaching, simple pain doctrine, pray away the gay. Hypocrisy, theology, mysticism, mythology, scripture, pray on pray, heaven or hell, God unavailable, swell. Loud about the Bible, quiet about the Constitution. Confusion, urgent, seconds lost in frames per minute, and innocent, ignorant sins, and high castle swastika armband, damn, take a canal back or buy some green land. Rename a Gulf, change a map, man. I get excited, right? Even overwhelmed at times, but I have never accidentally given a Nazi salute, ever. Goddamn, right? Entitlement, court challenge, checks to balance, gavel slam, rewind time, backward, talk tick, not tick-tock, doormat, knock-knock, playback, redo, expert strip, positions piss, partisan kisses of asses, crude oil, frack gas, worthless cash, elimination of copper-plated pocket chains, Venmo, crypto, bifocal, vocal rich, bleeding poor, needy, invisible, class war coming. Not lazy, just divisible. The top 10% of earners in the U.S. account for 67% of the wealth. The bottom 50% account for 2.5%. Middle class wounds, ripped, sores, torn, seamed, incision, cut to the bone, head case, eye hole, pillowcase, alienated, racist face, sheep in sheets, KKK, whitewash, roasted, toasted, covert, convert, segregated people who won't fight alone, policy party pukers, colorism, unchecked, unspoke, untold, confusion tool, multiplicity used, executive order after order after order times like 400, famed attempts at new rules, focus pointed aimed at the bright red bullseye in the center of confused, fees, tax, tit for tat, refuse, deport, evict, poorly treated citizen convicts, devalue, defuse, loud about tariffs, quiet about sinking our economy, sending the country into recession or depression or demarcated isolationism, empirical regression. China has had a wall since before the Ming Dynasty. You can see it from space if you're looking. It doesn't help keep their people safe or boost quality of life. Unhomed, rehomed, tribal, communal, tents parked everywhere usual, river's edge van, bus stop bench, warm sewer vent, concrete steps, loud about shelters under bridges or on the side of the road, quiet about rent control. Used, bruised, stars and stripes, beat up, black and blue, end stage, capitalism, measles disease, trepidation, ruse, lies, providing convenient solutions to created chaos in the form of rude, rhetorical, and unusable tools. And now, a word from your government. Wah, 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 wah. And that's that piece. One more piece. This got a trigger warning with it about self-harm. So if you're thinking about cutting yourself, don't. Or go to the bathroom or something. It's called Red. Red light, red line, red room. Heart is hard and it don't let love in. Drain the blood, replace its walls with rigid Kevlar engineered skin. Bulletproof, black or red emoji, bone dry stone designation. Issues? I got issues. My issues got issues. Red flags, delicate emotional mess crying about nothing, delicately. Red mind theory, spastic, critical thinking, lacking, didactic, stupid, fantastic, humid, hardened, viscous, diverted version, therapy sweat. Plasmatic, wicked, ingratiate, exsanguinate, 5 in the morning, I already ain't great. Red tape, Depression reign, wet brain ingrained, traumatic dreamscape whores from the previous night. Reality unreal in a world that ain't even ever half right. Red sky, time marginalized, counterclockwise, upset, conceptualized, dumb, concept, contextualized, scum, context, trauma elicits, artistic reticence, to wit. I create masterpieces in the steam on the shower door while I wait for the air to get hot as hell. Highways bloat, dissection shell, pictogram, photograph, vision quest, mental masturbation, life raft. See, the deepest truth cannot be put into words. The feels, emotions, tangible rules, snapshots, tempered glass, sketchbook, instamatic, scrapbook, pasted, painted, floors tainted, red blood dropping pores. Razor's edge, ice cold. Directional heat, so clean, so neat. I hurt myself because I feel the need to feel. And we accommodate me graciously. Sharp and sweet, cuts in a line, tallies of ordered depth, upside down, dime deep to the top of FDR's head. Until I leak satisfaction, but not deep enough to die. Red eyes, accumulate scars, assimilate galactic outline, star constellations, articulate signs, concentrate on the pain. As a result of the pain, all the pain collaborates. And I whine just a little bit, a consummate professional. Switched up substances, whiskey, fine, depressive, deviation, red pill, blue pill, delineate, disseminate, sting, and pinch before they invigorate, elaborate, taking me to shadow places, adjacent fear and hate. We innovate the ways we make me bleed. Red, demon, spirit, and me. There is no love in this heart. Now I just bleed. Thank you.
Okay, and she was here earlier performing with Mark, and now Jean Adaskevich on her own.
So when I got married, my husband almost immediately stopped working, and he went to physical therapy school. And then 2 years later, my sister got remarried, and my brother-in-law started a winery, and he didn't work anymore. So, well, he worked, but he didn't make any money. And so my mother said to me one day, you know, why don't I have any son-in-laws that are money-making men? And I said, Mom, that sounds like a really good old blues song. And so I took it. I never really played it anywhere, though, because I always thought it made me sound kind of mercenary, that I just want a money-making man. But Mark talked me into playing it places, so. Thought that you were heaven sent till you never paid your share of the rent. Sure it was nice not to be alone, but I stay with you much longer. Ooh, gotta take out a loan. I need a money-making man. I need a money-making man. Honey, darling, get off the couch. I'll find me some love outside of this house. When you start to looking well, do not detain. Do not be distracted by the next poker game. I finally wised up, yeah, I finally got smart. I went heat in my house, not just heat in my heart. I need a money-making man. I need a money-making man. Your lovey-dovey words, well, they sure are great, but they don't put any food on my Sometimes you're not home until 5, taken up with all them pretty barflies. Better shape up there, Mr. Frank. This sugar mama, she's not a bank. I need a money-making man. I need a money-making man. You're drinking and you're dancing, well, they're causing me grief. And they sure as hell ain't putting any shoes on my feet. As much as I appreciate your passion and love, I'm also attached to my retirement fund. I need a money-making man. I need a money-making man. Give me a money-making man. I need a money-making man. Now Mark is going to come up and do one of my other funny songs. So how many out there have had a teenage daughter? Anybody? Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? So when my daughter was about 15, I would ask her how her day was, and she'd say, oh, fine, and then she'd go into her room, close the door. One time we went to the movies with her and her friends, and they had to go to the back, and they wanted to act like they never even knew us. And so instead of getting angry, I decided to write a song. So.
Tune.
A. Are you in A?
Oops.
Yes, please be in the right key.
I'm trying in A, is it? Ah, there we go. I love my baby, but my baby don't love me.
How did I become someone she didn't know? Can't even sit in the same movie show.
Aww.
When I hug her, she runs away. When did my touch become the plague? I think I showered today.
Think again.
I love my baby, but my baby don't love me. We'd hold hands and look at the stars. Now I got a text her from inside of the car. Was the coolest person she ever met. Now it's a guy named Troy on the internet. Who's Troy anyway, Mark?
You mean you've never heard of Troy with about 90 million followers and about 25 viral videos and an independent movie coming out? Get with it, Gene.
I guess I'm not cool.
I love my baby, but my baby don't love me.
She talks to me, yes, sometimes. Not about love, but money and rides. Being a mama, it sure does hurt. You don't get credit for giving birth. I used to have a flat stomach, you know.
Oh, Gene, you're still in shape. Round is a shape.
I love my baby, but my baby don't love me. We shared nuggets and bowls of ice cream. Now she's into that vegan scene. So disgusted, she wonders how I can't eat an occasional cow. But steak is great, isn't it, Mark?
Ah, quit your beefing.
I love my baby, but my baby don't love me. But I'll get my revenge at some point later, when she's her own bored, uninterested, and uncommunicative teenager. And then we'll all sing. I love my baby, but my baby don't love me. My sweet little baby don't love me.
I love my baby, but my baby
don't love me. But you'll still talk to me, Mark, won't you?
Of course I'll talk to you, Gene. Let's see. I think I can slot you in Thursday around 11, but you'll have to make it quick. I've got important clients to see.
Thanks for fitting me in.
Is Riley Mullaney here? Okay, so I think someone signed up that didn't make it. And our next performer is the wonderful Tricia Alexander with, she's almost ready, with songs and poetry and her assorted talents.
Sorry, I was looking at the list and I thought there were 3 more people before. Surprise, surprise.
Gonna stand?
Uh-huh. Thanks, Jeremy. Hi, how are you? I'm pretty good. My response to everybody, that's all right. I use this one? My response these days whenever anybody asks me how I am is generally, I'm pretty good, even though everything. Make sure it's in tune. Nope. Sorry, that's the part that would have been taken care of if there were still 3 people in front of me. I was looking at the old list, I guess. Give me just a second. It'll be worth it. Close enough for folk music, right? That's what we used to say in the old days. Or close enough for jazz. So, even in the midst of spring's green and glorious abundances, trees whisper of the coming of winter. Their voices sweet and high, subtle murmurs on the wind, recalling long-forgotten landscapes, remembering footprints and laughing children, recording the unspoken promises of lovers, life's ebb and flow here, ring after ring after ring, our elders, earthbound by the circles of our mutual existence. Even now, these breathtaking, life-giving magicians dream of changing, spring into summer, into fall, into winter, becoming and becoming and becoming. Tables and chairs, food and medicine, music and fire. Gracefully relinquishing leaf and root and bark, page after page after page, surrendering all in the name of transformation. And here, leaf fluttering and limb creaking, they hope that you yourself will remember them as art and as artists, even while remembering them as trees. Many branches, one love, one heart, one breath joins us together. Here's where we start. One song, many voices, one world divine, one book, many stories, your life and mine. One love, one heart, one breath, one grace, one single source, one single light in every face. One earth, one sky, one light, one flame. So many dreams, so many fears, so many joys, so many tears. We are the same. One road, many journeys, one moon, one sun, one source, many children, one tree, just one tree, just one. One love, one heart, one breath, one grace, one single source, one single light in every face. One earth, one sky, one light, one flame. So many dreams, so many fears, so many joys, so many tears. We are the same. One tree, many branches, one love, one heart, one breath joins us together. Here's where we start. One tree, many branches, one tree, many branches, one tree, many branches, one tree, just one. Thank you. Usually I would do one more, but because the list is so long, I'm going to just say thank you and make room for everybody else.
And next up, Judy Fergen. She's going to share one of her life essays with us.
Hi. Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? I couldn't help it. I'm to the point where I have at least 4 of these readers. Did I remember to bring mine tonight? No. So I borrowed Carol's. So if something slides down my nose, it's probably similar to the size I have. I have something that I wrote many years ago. It's a play. It's called Fork in the Road. And it has to do with baseball. And the term fork in the road is from Yogi Berra. He says, when you come to a fork in the road, take it. But don't you go this way, or stay still, or stay forget it and turn around and go home. I don't know. Anyway, there's just a little bit about this play I'd like to read. If I can find. Okay. The main character, Hank, who lives in Iowa, has a duty to spread his mother's ashes on Wrigley Field. And he stops at a roadside diner for a break in driving, thus fork in the road. It was first produced in the old courthouse Arts Center on Woodstock Square here. There were a lot of things going on at that time, and one of the things that was going on was the weekend that we wanted to do this, we couldn't use the Opera House because they were resurfacing the stage. But it all worked out fine. With the help from a grant, from the Illinois Art Council, a local theater company, Town Square Players developed the Phoenix Workshop. This new workshop gave fledgling director Tim Curtis a chance to produce a new play, and playwright Fergen the opportunity to see her work come to life. It's a This play is a collaboration of my muses, both living and gone. I owe a huge debt to Bob Reiner of the theater department of McHenry County College in Crystal Lake. Bob was instrumental in helping me with a play in progress, enabling me to hear my characters and receive audience feedback. Thank you to my readers for their participation and patience as I made my changes. Many thanks to my husband, Larry, who spent countless hours in the beginning typing and correcting. Thanks to Joe Dugo, who helped me with my stats. You're a consummate fan. Thanks to Tim Curtis, who believed in the story enough to be my extra pair of eyes and take it to the much-needed level with his direction. Thank you to my daughter, Chelsea, who unwittingly helped me recognize that mothers were once daughters. And finally, thank you for my daughter, Ravel, who came up with the ending solution. Without her idea, there would be no beginning. I'll just read the prologue, which begins before the first act. The curtain opens on the inside of Fork in the Road Diner, which is located in rural Illinois, approximately 1 hour east of the Iowa border. The diner's interior design is circa 1960s. Stage right has a short counter on an angle with 3 padded stools and a cash register at the far end. A sign above the counter reads, "Try our world-famous flippins." The kitchen is out of sight, off stage right. The main entrance door is mid-center with a payphone between the door and 2 or more padded booths that look out a window. An old jukebox backs up to stage left. Next to it, downstage, an opening with restroom signs above it. Unseen living quarters upstairs over the diner are accessed off stage. The main character is Hank. And so he says, when I was 8 years old, the only thing that my buddies and I could think about was getting outside to play baseball. As soon as the good weather came around in the spring, we'd daydream at our school desks, gazing out the windows till recess, or better yet, counting the minutes until they'd let us loose and we could grab our gear and play. And if we weren't playing baseball, we were talking baseball and trading baseball cards. You remember that gum that came in the pack of cards? Mostly the gum was all dry and brittle with that white powder on it, but nobody cared. You'd rip open the package, shove the gum in your mouth as you'd look at your treasures. Maybe you'd be real lucky and get a card you didn't have. Topps baseball cards. If you were a New York Yankees fan, you would trade anything for a Dave Winfield or a Reggie Jackson. My buddies and I followed the Chicago teams. I would find a Ryan Sandberg, a Fergie Jenkins, or even Ron Santo card in my lunch bag while other kids just got homemade treats. That's it.
And now for some more comedy. I was going to say, I almost introduced Tricia before Mike. Sorry about that. So, consummate storyteller and comic Mike Preston.
Yeah, I don't want that one. Thank you, Jeremy. Yeah, a lot of you have already heard this story. Sorry about that, but bear with me. I have to speak at an aortic health seminar next week, so I want to make sure I've got it down. It's in North Dakota if anybody wants to give me a ride. I'd appreciate that. So this is a story about making plans. One of my favorite quotes is from that great American philosopher, Mike Tyson. And he said, "Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face." I think when COVID hit back in 2020, a lot of us felt like we'd been punched in the face. And the thing to do when you get knocked down is get back up again and make a new plan. So my new plan involved riding out the pandemic, catching up on my Netflix shows, and just going back to work again when it was all over. It was a pretty good plan, but then life punched me in the face again. On May 20th of 2020, I was sitting home minding my own business when I suddenly experienced what felt like an electric shock go from my jaw to my chest, and immediately my heart began pounding out of control. I was drenched in sweat, and I couldn't catch my breath to save my life. And I remember thinking, I can't wait to share this with an audience. So here we are. I later learned that I had an aortic aneurysm that had burst and shredded my aorta from stem to stern. As one of my surgeons told me, you're pretty lucky. Most people who have what you had don't make it to the operating table. But I did make it to the table where a team of surgeons operated on me for 12 hours. Then I spent 5 days on a ventilator. Then they woke me up again. It was time to make a new plan. I still intended to catch up on my Netflix shows and eventually go back to work again, but first I had to throw in learning how to walk all over again. So it was 2 weeks in a hospital, another 2 weeks at a physical rehab center, and then back home to get started on the new plan. And it was going great. I was able to get rid of the walker within a couple of weeks, felt like I was getting a little stronger every day, and there was a light at the end of the tunnel. Then I got punched in the face again. At the end of September, after a week of what I thought was a really intense sinus infection, the headache got so bad that I finally went to the emergency room, where they ran a series of tests and did a CAT scan and informed me that I had suffered a stroke. The doctor even came in with that black and white x-ray picture of my brain, and pointed out things that I pretended to understand. You know how they do that. See, the light gray area over here is supposed to be like the dark gray area over there. Obviously, I was thinking the same thing. And it looks like there's a storm front moving in over Cleveland. Bottom line is, I dodged a major bullet, and once again, I had all these medical professionals telling me how lucky I was. To be perfectly honest, I was getting a little tired of being so damn lucky all the time. I'd rather be one of those poor bastards who didn't have a stroke. But you play the hand you're dealt. So it was another week in the hospital, and then back home to make a new plan. Only this time, going back to work was off the table. The cumulative effects of my health issues had left me with a major deficit in my stamina and a little hitch in my giddy-up. So planning became more challenging, as in, what the hell am I going to do now? I can't do all these things I used to do, but I'm still here, so I got to do something. I feel like I'm in the bonus round of life. I have a special bond with food that's past its expiration date. We are kindred spirits, and we're here for a reason. So what's the plan? Another one of my favorite quotes is from Winston Churchill, and he said, when you're going through hell, keep going. And that basically became the plan. Just keep going. I've found that I feel more content when I think I'm being useful. So every day I scrape together what's left of me, and I try to do something with it. I just keep going. And just to clarify, I'm not going through hell by any means. I've had many, many wonderful experiences in the bonus round. I'm practically a regular at stage left, so I'm living life in the fast lane. But I also have certain limitations and continual reminders that life is indeed a gift and not a guarantee. These days when I go in to see my doctors, I can't shake the feeling that they're looking at me like I'm an old car they restored. And they can't believe this thing is still running. But there's always something that needs a little tweaking. In 2022, I had to have some major follow-up repair on my descending aorta. And once again, it knocked me on my ass. But I got back up again, and along with some other major life changes, that became a transformative year for me. Last year, when I went in for my annual aortic scan and checkup, my surgeon had told me there's more repair surgery that needed to be done, and it had to be done in 2 stages. So one operation was scheduled for June and another one for July. And any plans I had for the summer were suddenly replaced by hospitalization and recuperation. So while it wasn't exactly what you would call a fun summer, it was substantially more fun than dying. And this year when I went in for my checkup, he told me there's still more leakage from my original dissection. We're going to have to do an outpatient surgical repair surgery in a couple of weeks. So yeah, I get a little tired of the constant maintenance, but I'm so glad that there are people who are competent and caring enough to monitor my situation and address things rather than relying on me to stay on top of matters. That would be a disaster. When I think about those surgeons who operated on me for 12 hours, I'm so grateful they have a better work ethic than I do. If I can't fix something in 20 minutes, I get frustrated and throw it out. But these guys just kept going. You know, there's all sorts of inspirational quotes about how it's not how many times you get knocked down that matters, it's how many times you get back up. I don't have anything that deep or profound, but if there's one thing I've learned through all my trials and tribulations, it's this. You are never going to catch up on your Netflix shows. They just keep making new ones. It's like getting punched in the face, and apparently it's part of the plan, so just keep going. Thank you.
All right, and for a different style of comedy, but she's wonderful too in storytelling, Tricia Babischkin.
We'll get it eventually. Can I get enough leash that I can walk around? Because, you know, I can't be tethered. All right. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I want to thank all of the people here at Stage Left that do so much work to make this happen. So thank you again. Let's give them a round of applause. I'm still convinced Jeremy's the hardest working guy I've ever seen. He never sits down. I think he has a spring in his butt. So sorry, I didn't mean to talk about your butt so soon. I've been trying new things lately. As I have recently become 50, I've realized that for the past 5 decades, I've tried to figure out who the heck I am. And now I have decided that I am going to identify as a Midwesterner. You see, I was born in the Deep South, Mississippi to be exact. And I've done extensive research to discover that in Mississippi, there are more toilets and bathtubs used as lawn decor per capita than any other state in the Union. So upon moving here, I looked around at you crazy people and said, those are my people. I will be one of you. So I've done the basics. I've started eating Midwestern salads that are called pizza. I complain about the weather and taxes regardless of what either of them are doing at that particular moment. I also have no intention of moving away from the weather or the taxes, so that also makes me one of you. And I've discovered that I also have this strange, irrational hatred for Indiana. I really think that Ohio, Kentucky, Illinois, and Michigan should all meet and we could divvy it up. But I'm not taking Gary. I mean, somebody else can take Gary, right? But being from the South, originally, I do have a deep-seated judgment against, well, West Virginia. It's the state where dental care and teeth are optional, but tattoos are required by state law. Now, I know this to be fact because, naturally, I adopted my dog from West Virginia. She has bad teeth, she has a tattoo, and she's inbred. She meets all the stereotypes. Every person who's ever met her says, "Is that a black lab?" You know, because we don't have dogs anymore. They must be a breed. They must be better than just a dog. So naturally, I conformed to peer pressure and got her DNA tested. Every day I waited for that test to come back, I told my adorable dog, "We're going on Maury Povich to find out who's your daddy." What we found out is that her mama is a slut. My solid black dog is 1/4 golden retriever. and 19 other dogs. Her official breed is Blue Golden Chow Pei Wolski Boxhound Whore. We've decided to just shorten that to Molden, that's a Mutt Golden, just so that she can fit in with her doodle friends. Those other doodles cannot pronounce all those other words. Years ago, I went to a shelter in New York, and I adopted a husband. That's not really true. He'd been transported to South Florida, and that's where I rescued him. Now, I didn't have to do his DNA test because he is 100% pain in my ass. But we have been mostly lovingly married for 25 years. I know, I'm shocked too. At our wedding, our guests created a betting pool of how long we were going to stay married. My loving husband picked the over, and he won the whole pot on our 3rd anniversary. I hate to admit it, but I picked slightly less than that. About 10 days after we got back from the honeymoon, I thought I'd bury him in the backyard. It seemed reasonable. Now, if we ever break up, it is not going to be because he's had a midlife crisis affair. That man has never figured out somebody's flirting with him. Ever. And it's not because I spend all of his money. I mean, I do. I just don't tell him we have any. No, those aren't going to be the things that break us up. It will be dinner. My husband has an irrational belief that he should eat every single night. I believe that dinner should occur with no input on my part whatsoever. That is irreconcilable differences in our world. And it's not because I don't know how to cook. I really think it's a cop-out if somebody goes, well, I don't know how to cook. Can you read? Because cooking is following a recipe that is words. Should be easy. No, it's all the other stuff that goes into making dinner that drives me crazy. Meal planning. I'm supposed to know what we're going to have for dinner next Tuesday. I don't know what I'm eating tonight, and it's almost 9. We might as well pick out everything we're going to eat in the month of March on Wednesdays in 2028 while we're just making stuff up. And shopping lists. Making the list, easy, done, no problem. Taking the list to the store, impossible. I come home with $300 worth of groceries and my refrigerator looks like the basket from Chopped. Yes, chef, tonight we're going to have Vienna sausages with a purple peep sauce reduction and a side of palm Fritos. And for dessert, we're going to have a lovely Jell-O parfait with a selection of leftover Halloween, Valentine's Day, and Easter candy. Sounds delicious. I'd totally rock Chopped. And when did we stop teaching people in grocery stores not to park your cart in the middle of the aisle? Or stop right in front of the person trying to pick out one of the billion different tomato sauces? And for the love of all that is frozen, it is entirely possible to pick your ice cream flavor before you open that glass door and fog up every one of the freezers while you determine which version of vanilla you're going to buy. So if we actually survive to making dinner, it's after dinner that my husband becomes the most optimistic person in the world. He wraps up our leftovers and puts them in the refrigerator. In 2 to 3 days, months, I take them out of the refrigerator and put them away in a hazardous waste disposal plant. Because we don't eat leftovers in my house, we are conducting very precise scientific experiments to see if we can create spontaneous life on leftover chicken. Now, I thought I had it cracked. We had one that really did look like we had life, but it turned out it was just a really fuzzy and kind of mushy pork chop. So that didn't work out. Keep trying, though. My husband also likes to empty the dishwasher. I don't think it's because he likes to put stuff away. I think he likes to play the game of, let's hide all the cooking utensils away from Tricia for the night. I can't find anything. We lost our good knives for 6 months because he got distracted and somehow they made it to his golf bag. Now, in his defense, I have to tell you that his golf bag is full of very expensive precision tools with handles that he barely knows how to use. So they're just like kitchen knives. Now, the problem is, it's not that he found the knives. Oh, no. My husband took his golf bag on a golf trip with the boys, and as he was leaving the airport, TSA stopped him. And then I get a phone call that says, good news, bad news. Good news, I know where our knives are. Bad news, I need you to come to O'Hare and pick up our knives, and please tell these nice people at TSA that I'm not crazy. I offered to do one of those things and gleefully skipped through O'Hare with my knives. Now, I got all the way to the car when I realized that I had walked through O'Hare with an 8-inch chef's knife, and not one Chicago police officer batted an eye. That, my friends, is middle-aged white woman privilege. Unsheathed, sharp knife, no threat. My full-sized hair gel will get me an hour of interrogation and a full-on strip search. And let me tell you, if you ever have to, Belinda in Terminal 3 does not have soft hands. I had bruises, people. Of the other new things I'm doing since I'm now 50 is I got the memo. I'm now required to go to craft shows. You know, those minor county fairs. When I was little, I always thought you had to actually make something to present at a craft show. Apparently today, it could be every piece of miasma from some grandpa's garage. Maybe you made something. It could be random food that includes, are we freeze-drying candy now? Is that a thing? Or the latest craft show I went to had a booth from the county coroner. Yes, the county coroner, you know, the people that deal with dead people. Trust me, we're going someplace. When I first saw the list and it said coroner, I went, what craft does the coroner make? And where exactly is she getting her supplies? I had visions of Victorian hair art and something with teeth. I was a little worried. Then I looked around at the crowd at the craft show and I said, I understand it now. The average age of the population going to the craft show is much older than me. So it is possible that Grandpa is, keeling over in the flag booth. I mean, it's possible. So maybe it's like putting first responders next to racetracks. You want to put people where they're going to be needed most. I'm sure that out back of the craft show there was a refrigerated trailer. We just take Grandpa, bag him and tag him and put him out there. We save paperwork. This made sense to me until I actually went to her booth and realized that what she was doing was giving out Narcan. Now, do you know what Narcan is? It is the anti-overdose med that you give for opioid and fentanyl overdoses. It is a life-saving drug, and I have no issue with it getting in the hands of people that could actually use it. But can somebody tell me if there are raves in the retirement home? I mean, if I'm 85 and exhibiting an overdose of opioids, maybe you just let me go towards the light. I think it might be time, and I'd be okay with that. My big fear was that Granny at 92 didn't know that that was Narcan and thought it might be an anti-allergy nasal spray. And I'm a little concerned about what the side effects of Narcan for non-opioid overdose use is. It's a know thy audience moment, really, right? Now, there was one other booth that absolutely fascinated me at the craft show. It was the Porch Goose attire booth. It was an entire booth that looked like a porch goose's closet. Now, I understand that porch geese is a very Midwestern thing. You put it on your front porch, you put a slicker on it, maybe you decorate it for the holidays. Being this identified Midwesterner that I am trying to be, I am dedicated to putting a porch goose on my front porch. But I can't. I can't dress it just normally. I've been thinking about what style would be the right porch goose for me. And I've decided that, quite frankly, it's full bondage is what we're going to go with. I'm talking leather harnesses and vinyl and whips. And what I haven't figured out yet is how do you get the ball gag inside the little beak? Hey, I think bondage porch goose trumps toilet on your front lawn any day of the week. So I'm definitely moving up with that. And with that, that's my time. But before I go, I know that there's other people promoting stuff on Sunday, but at 4 o'clock on Sunday afternoon at Zany's in Rosemont, 3 of the funny ladies that you have met tonight and a 4th are all gathering together to do our own showcase show. And I invite everyone here to come and hear about my bondage porch goose some more. So thank you again.
Luke, are you ready? Luke Welch, very patient man, very prolific poet from Rockford. Take it away, Luke.
Hey guys, here's a brand new one just a couple days ago, and then I revised it some today, and my friends haven't even heard it yet. So. This is called Terry. This is about my ex-wife. Yeah, different Terry, I'm sorry. When she was a little girl, her mom would say she swam like a fish every day. She'd tell me about the time she looked away and how, when she turned back, Terry, at age 5, was already up on the high dive, already plunging down, never afraid. Decades later, it was her mom again who called me and told me how she died, how her blood sugar crashed, and as she started to fade, she went swimming in the backyard pool, her husband away at work. On a conscious level, I'm sure it was not on purpose that she had plans for dinner, that she had plans for the weekend, that she had plans. But I think part of her was done with dry land and pain, was ready to become that fish again. And as she plunged that last time into that water and bobbed there at the bottom, weightless, that bright light shining from above, how she moved, her hands and feet and fins and tail, her scales shining as she swam eagerly toward that light, toward her brother who came forward first and swam playfully around her, and her father smiling, lucid now after dying from dementia, her grandmothers, grandfathers, all her loved ones waiting for her as ours await our turn to go back home to that blue ocean of light and love that awaits all of us on the other side. Thank you, guys. I wasn't sure how that would go. That was like my first time performing it, so cool. All right, this one's Boy on a Bicycle. Now it's about me when I was a little kid. So. All right. When it comes right down to it, I'm still the boy I was, still afraid of harsh words and judgment, afraid to ask a girl to dance. I still sleep in rather than getting up early to shake hands with the rising sun, still up late into the night, trying to find my way through the world, trying to be happy and to hurt no one. I wonder sometimes where this road will take me. I used to ride my bike as far as I could, a paper map in my pocket of my cut-off jeans, following the little blue lines on the map like veins winding through the body of the world, leading me to new places or to places I've only seen through car windows, learning to maneuver them myself, to know what the wind feels like there. My feet pushing the pedals, my skinny teenage body working eyes wide, pushing myself into the wind. Somehow I would see as much of this world as I could, go as far as my skinny legs and the wheels of my 10-speed would carry me. The hair on my head blowing like tall grass, gold in the summer sun, my hairless face tanning. Inside me now, that teenage boy still lurches forward toward the secrets the world is hiding, my neck craned to see around the next bend, head whipping back to watch for what's looming behind me as I balance awkwardly on this narrow shoulder, pushing my way into new places to see how I belong there, working my feet hard like climbing my way upward into the world, like a bird lifts itself into the welcoming sky.
Okay, we did a little switcheroo. Jim Gary's going to go first, and then Wattle Daub. So we're going to end the evening with some great singer-songwriters. And first of all, Jim Gary.
Thank you, sir. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Tonto, disguised as a toilet seat. No, old joke. Well, do they say this month is dance? I thought I'd start with an interpretive dance, I think, tonight. Yes, please. You know I can't dance. Okay. So obviously, I wasn't prepared. Today is Arbor Day, isn't it? It's actually today. Okay, I guess that'll do. There was a tree in my backyard when I was just a lad. It gave me cherries and a treetop fort, the best climbs I've ever had. Struck by lightning a couple of times, survived with vigor and vim, until the day that the termites came and they took her limb by limb. And so we moved to another house, new friends to be made, and the street was all lined with trees, a boulevard arcade, like a picture of forever land. Life's an endless swing until the day that until the year of the Dutch elm blight and the saws bite ring by ring. Ain't that the way that the world spins round? Gather your sticks in a bundle, and nothing's ever gonna break 'em at once but those little things gnaw and those little teeth saw. Before you know it, they crumble. Now there's a tree on the riverside, she rocked me in her boughs, sent us sibling saplings out, find the why and the hows. Stood by the river though he passed her by, in flood and freezing cold. Now old man river just taunts at her roots and slowly erodes her foothold. Ain't that the way that the world spins round? Gather your sticks in a bundle, and nothing's ever gonna break 'em at once but those little things gnaw and those little teeth saw. And before you know it, they crumble. There was a tree in my backyard. Thanks a lot. Thank you. All right. I think I'm warmed up now, maybe. This is a capo. It's Latin for I can't play guitar in B flat. That's what that means. Which means I have to tune again. It's another little spring song here. See if I can remember it now. So as spring shrugs her snowy shoulders off with so much ease, comes a boy on his bike, his jacket's open, blowing in the breeze. And his mother calls out after him upon this misty morn, advice for all the ages in her worn out words, which warn: keep it zipped, it's for your own good. You can't see down the road to ruin, and I'm wishing that you understood. Keep it zipped and you'll be all right, 'cause an ounce of prevention now could cure a world of woe this night. And so now he's turned 16, he's spinning his wheels to take the car. But Dad can't steer his thinking clear to letting him go that far. And his angry words spill over Dad until his mom steps in, and he's silenced by her soft but stern suggestion once again: keep it zipped and you'll be all right, 'cause an ounce of prevention now could cure a world the other kids are doing it, Mom, and their mothers don't care. All right, I get the point, their mothers just don't care. So now he takes this stand today, and to tell you all the truth, he's still learning to appreciate the mother of his youth. And one thing sure, she always said exactly what she meant. And it's the same she'd say for every boy up to the president. Keep it zipped, it's for your own good. You can't see down the road to ruin, and I'm wishing that you understood. Keep it zipped, and you'll be all right. 'Cause an ounce of prevention now could cure a world of woe this night. Yes, an ounce of prevention then could have cured a world of woe this night. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Songs are for sale. Thanks.
And closing out the evening, our favorite husband and wife duo, Wattle and Daub, with their lovely harmonies.
You're going to stand?
Yeah, it's only 2 songs.
All right, we can do it for 2 songs.
I can do it for 2 songs.
This chord here, Jeremy?
Yes, please. And does that plug in? Yes, it does. And like hers is just a passive pickup. Well, that sounds nice.
It does sound nice.
You need your words here, honey?
I don't think so.
I need the chords.
Okay, then have them.
All right. They're right
Here,
there.
can we put them down a little bit?
Yeah, put them down.
All right.
All right.
Shout out to the Rockford contingent tonight.
Yeah.
I got to go there in the morning. I teach there on Saturday mornings.
At the Music
At the
Academy.
Music Academy.
You had an announcement.
I do have an announcement. Thank you for the reminder. So for those of you who remember David Callan and love David Callan, just a reminder, his wife wanted me to remind everyone that the celebration for his life will be on May 17th. It's here in Woodstock at the Unity Center, I think. I have about a block that way.
Somewhere around there.
In any case, she's trying to get a head count. So if you go on the Lake County Folk Club Facebook page, there's a link to the Evite for that. If you could just respond if you're planning on coming, and we would love to have you. There's going to be some really good music. So
yeah.
Anyway, this is a brand new song. What do they see? What do they see that makes them hate someone like me? I've been trying all my life to be free. What do they know? What do they know that makes them want me to go? I have never in my life felt so low. If you strip it all away at the end of the day, what would you have me say to make it all okay for you? What did they learn? What did they learn to live a life with no concern for another on this earth. What did they learn? If you strip it all away at the end of the day, what would you have me say to make it all okay for you? What do they see? What do they see that makes them hate someone like me? I've been trying all my life to be free.
All right. I always like when people sing along, so you better sing along in this one.
We're hoping you still have voices. Let me think. This is also pretty new. And it's in the same key. Sorry about that.
It's an open mic rule.
There has always been the sun, and there will always be the moon. Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Hang on.
No, song is the last verse.
Oh, got it.
All right, you got it.
I remember now, sorry. There has always been the sun, and there will always be the moon. No, I don't. What?
Kids with a balloon.
No, that's the second verse.
You want to do something else?
No, I want to do the song. Hang on. Oh, got it. I got it.
You got it now? All right.
Yeah.
I hope so.
There has always been the sun. You got this part. There will always be the moon. Here it is. Long as I remember, school lets out in June. My grandpa was in the army, World War II, and now it seems like we're going back too soon. This is a chorus. Going back too soon. We're going back too soon. And it seems like we're going back too soon. I got it now.
All right.
Some will never have enough, though they were born with a silver spoon. Little kids are happy with the helium balloon. Ain't it funny how people follow someone crazy as a loon? And it seems like we're going back too soon. Sing along. We're going back too soon. We're going back too soon. And it seems like we're going back too soon. Going back too soon. We're going back too soon. And it seems like we're going back too soon. There will always be a song. That song will always have a tune. Nothing better than a catnap on a summer afternoon. And we can sing together to wash away the gloom, 'cause it seems like we're going back too soon. Going back too soon, we're going back too soon. And it seems like we're going back too soon.
Let's hear you, Rockford.
Going back too soon, we're going back too soon. And it seems like we're going back too soon.
One more time.
Going back too soon, we're going back too soon. And it seems like we're going back too soon.
I'll do one more. Come on, there.
Going back too soon, we're going back too soon. And it seems like we're going back too soon. Thanks, you guys. Okay, I'm done. Oh, that's awesome.
That's right.
All right, let's hear it again for all of our great performers this evening. Everyone did a great job, as always. Thank you all for coming. I want to remind you all to get your tickets for the event on Sunday, the spring benefit concert for the Woodstock Folk Festival. You can go to woodstockfolkfestival.org for details and tickets. And May 2nd, the stage leftovers. For those tickets, go to offsquaremusic.org. And while you're there at offsquaremusic.org, sign up for next month's open mics. Let's sign up early, please. Thanks for coming. Drive safe.